Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Call to the Ring, a pro wrestling podcast where I sit down with pro wrestlers from across the U.S. and hopefully one day across the world. The ones who week in and week out, they show up and they put on amazing matches, not for TikTok attention or Instagram likes, but because they love professional wrestling. And this week is no different. I'd like to welcome our first female guest. She's only been wrestling for about 1 year, but she has been tearing it up in the Southwest. Ladies and gentlemen, Alorha Jet.
All right, everybody. First off, I would like to thank Alorha Jet for joining me today. If you guys want to follow her on social media, I'm gonna leave links in the description box, all her social media platforms, so you can go check her out anytime you want and show your support. Okay, Alorha, thank you for joining me today.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Oh no, I'm super excited. You're actually the first female wrestler to be on my podcast, and that makes me so happy.
Right on. That makes me pretty happy too.
Now you've been pretty busy out there in the Southwest. You've been wrestling in New Mexico and Texas. Almost every time I see on social media, almost every weekend you're out and about, huh?
Yeah, I like to have a busy schedule. So
Hey,
yeah, I'm picking up some speed, which is really exciting.
it's better to be busy than to have empty weekends and not be doing nothing, you know?
Oh, I agree. I agree.
And when they are pretty empty, you can do what I do and just start a podcast, you know?
Hey, that's a good idea.
Right? Why not? You know, get some time to fill it up, you know what I mean? So for everyone
Mhm.
watching, how old are you?
I'm
You're
21,
20?
so I'm pretty young and I'm pretty fresh in the business. So I've got plenty of things looking for me, hopefully, in the future.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that to light because I know you've been wrestling for going about, I think you're hitting your 1 year anniversary.
Just about that. Yeah. So I started training in December of 2024, and then I debuted in June of 2025. So I haven't been doing matches and shows that long. But yeah, I hit my year, I guess, training December of
Yeah.
last year. So I've been wrestling for like a year and a couple months, which is crazy to think about already.
I think that's when I met you. I think I met you at your second match. I think your first match was with Gino, I
Yes.
believe. And then your second one was at Lucha
Hmm.
Parlor, correct?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's when I met you. I was like, hmm.
Well, that's awesome. It's good to see that a year down the road, you hit the ground running. Like you didn't just like start and I'll do local shows and I'll just stay in my area. No, you're going everywhere.
I'm enjoying it a lot. I think that right now, a big I guess it's just like a big eye opener to see that I'm already, like you said, hitting the ground running. I guess I didn't anticipate being so busy already, which is so cool. Like I'm so excited to have these opportunities that are presenting themselves to me and these promotions that are reaching out, which is super cool. So I'm definitely lucky. I mean I put the work in for sure, but I think that because I'm a woman too, also there's less women in wrestling. So it's less of a saturated market. So they're oh, she's new. I want her to come wrestle at my show. So I'm trying to prove myself in the Southwest, but my bigger goal is to wrestle everywhere and just, be in every state.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. So what actually started, were you always a wrestling person? Did you grow up watching wrestling? Like what started the love for pro wrestling?
Oh my God. Um, it's a loaded question, but I think I grew up watching a lot of wrestling at my grandma's house. She would always go and through the bins at the store and just pull out all the wrestling tapes and play them. So it was always 90s and 2000s wrestling. So I never really grew up watching 2010s, which I know a lot of people my age did watch the 2010s wrestlers.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to see a lot of that because I didn't watch it on TV. I watched discs. So I watched a lot of 90s and 2000s stuff, and I was just always so captivated by it because I've always been a performer. So this was just another type of performance, and I was like, God, that's just such a cool thing. But it never really crossed my mind to be oh, I'm going to be a wrestler one day. I wanted to be, but it was just kind of this little dream that, random little thing that exists in the back of my mind. And then I stopped going to my grandma's house in the summers because I got old enough to stay stay at my own. And so I stopped watching wrestling, which is kind of sad, but it came back on, um, came back into my life when it came on Netflix and Raw came on
Okay.
Netflix. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to start watching it again. And I just remember like being so like I felt like I was a kid again. Like I was like, oh my God, like it was so cool. So I was super inspired, especially by the women that are on the roster now, because obviously the wrestling I watched, the 90s and 2000s, like was not very great for women. So I think that I was super like into the fact that like the women were getting just as much ring time and like we're hitting all these cool moves, like just like the dudes were. And so I was watching this and I was like, dang, I wonder if there's any wrestling schools here in Albuquerque or here in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And I was like, there, it's New Mexico. I've never seen wrestling here. So I'll just, I'll look it up and see. But I looked it up and then the first freaking thing that popped up was Gino's face right there on on Safari. I was like, oh, I'm going to click on that and see what happens. So that's how I got into it. I just got curious and now I'm like living a dream that I thought was like totally delusional, which is like so cool.
Oh, that's so amazing. Now, was
Yeah.
Gino your first trainer? Was he the trainer you first started working with?
I really didn't scroll. I just I looked it up, wrestling schools in New Mexico. And he was the first thing that popped up. And I was like, I'll click on it and see what it's about. And I just scrolled through and I reached out to him. I was actually in the line at Dutch Bros when I looked it up. And I reached out to him through this little box that's on the website. And it was like, fill out this box if you're interested. And I did. And he reached out back immediately. And I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. I remember just feeling so nervous and excited about going to just check it out. So yeah, I've been training with him at OTR for since I started.
And have you been getting a lot of support? 'Cause I know a lot of your friends probably went to college, some probably joined the military. Do you find it easy for a lot of people around you to support you in this endeavor?
Yeah, I definitely got lucky. I have a lot of things on my plate because I'm also in college too. I'm also in school, so I have a lot of things going on. I'm supposed to graduate in May.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about that, to be done with that. Because it's exhausting, but it's a lot. But I had a lot of people luckily to support me, so I'm blessed for that. My parents are super supportive. I mean, they don't love the fact that I'm beating people up and people are beating me up, but they're still supportive. They know I'm going to do what I want to do. So they travel with me sometimes on shows, and my dad's a sales guy, so he sits by the merch table and he's like, hey, you need a t-shirt, at everybody that walks past. So they really love it, they enjoy it. My family loves it. I'm very family centered, so they're super into the fact that I'm doing this because like I said, I've been a performer my whole life. I've done singing and dancing in front of crowds forever, and this to me is very similar. It's just
Okay.
it's different, but it's similar. Yeah.
That's one of the questions I was actually going to ask you. Did you have any prior theater or sports background going into this? Because I know starting wrestling school can be very physically demanding. Did you have any kind of background like that before you started?
Yeah, so I didn't have wrestling training or wrestling background or anything like jujitsu or anything cool like that, really. It was that was the part that I was nervous for, was the very physical aspect of it,
Yeah.
because I did dance. I did competitive dance for so long, and from I don't know, I did it from age 9 to 12 or 8 to 12 or something like that. And then I did recital dance when I was a baby and then I did high school team for 1 year when I was a freshman. So I was a dancer for a very long time, singing my whole life. I love to sing in front of people. So that too. So I had the performance aspect down, I think, and I don't really have the stage fright, which is nice. But it was just the nerve-wracking part was okay, I have to get thrown.
Yeah.
And I got to throw people, but that's actually the funnest part. So
Right. But that's cool though. I never knew that you were a singer. That's amazing. You ever thought about using it in one of your at one of the shows, or in a promo?
yeah, as a gimmick. I mean, I guess I could. I have kind of thought about it, but I was like, I don't know if I I don't know if I want to put that out there because then I'm going to be singing everything I do. But maybe it's possible.
Right? Instead of cutting a promo hey, blah blah blah. Usually you just start
A rapper.
you just create a short music video. Just a short music video. A 1 minute.
Yes.
That would work.
I can so do that.
Hey, there was a wrestler, I can't remember his name. He used to, instead of having an entrance song, he would just whistle. on his way to the ring, and it got over with the crowd so much.
Oh, that's nice.
He would just walk out whistling, and then, he'll whistle a song, and the whole crowd would be like, "Oh yeah," like singing along to whatever song he.
That's cool.
Yeah. So who knows? You never know what's gonna get over with the crowd these days, But you've been killing it though. I mean,
Exactly.
from all the uploads from different people, social media, thing like that. I mean, you were doing a phenomenal job. Real quick though, I did notice
Thank
that your
you.
gear is on point. Can we get a shout out for your gear maker?
Oh, yeah, totally. So the person that makes my gear, it's La Lucha Lady. She makes a lot of my gear. Like there's that gold set that I have that's kind of like plaid and checkered. The black one that I wore this weekend, like this last weekend, she made that one. And then she made my gear that I debuted in. Then I have a gear that's like green and it's like a singlet kind of gear. She didn't make that one, but it was Scarlet Rose. She made that one for me custom. It was pretty cool. So I have a couple gear makers right now, but I get a lot of stuff from La Lucha Lady because she has the greatest stuff.
Oh man, I'm sure I might hit her up myself. You know what I mean? It's
Do
kind of
it.
hard though,
Yes,
because
do
I
it.
wrestle in that tunic. A lot of gear makers look at my outfit and they're like, I don't know if I could make. I don't know.
Mhm.
So, so you're going to college, you're wrestling, you know, you're doing all these things. Was there did you ever hit a time where it came to a point where you were like wanted to quit, or you felt like you had to die back? And if you did, was there someone or something that just kept you going?
I think that's a crazy question because recently, yeah. Because of like just the demanding schedule of like being in college and like the degree that I'm pursuing was elementary education. Um, so I was student teaching also, which is like working 9 to 5 or 9 to 4 and then going to training and then on the weekends traveling and then coming back to do it all over again. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. On top of like relationships and self-care and like everything else. I think ultimately I made the decision that what makes me the most happy is to wrestle. Like I love wrestling. So I think there's always space. There's always space for the things that you really enjoy doing. And you can only be your biggest supporter because it's great to have people supporting you and pushing you through. And I definitely do. Like my partner is super supportive. My family is very supportive. And I'm lucky, but a lot of people don't have those support systems.
Yeah.
So I think just to like I don't know, sometimes you just gotta thug it out.
Yeah.
Like it's, when you feel like you're like, oh man, I want to quit, like really think about like what is making you happy? Like what do you want to do with yourself? Like for me, it's like a lot of people are like, oh man, the traveling is so hard with wrestling and I don't really want to, but for me, I'm like, I don't care. Like I'm gonna get to the show. I'm gonna drive 7 hours. I'm gonna get to the show. And I don't care that I have to drive 7 hours. You know what I mean? Like that part of it doesn't matter because like the wrestling makes me feel so good and like so happy and so fulfilled. So even if I have to be in school and do wrestling at the same time, and even if it's a lot, like it's worth it. And I know that it's going to be worth it because soon I'm done with school. So I just got to like push through and thug it out just for a little longer and I'll be okay. So I think the mental fortitude is like, I have a good amount of it. So I think I'm okay, but I don't know. I might be going a little delulu at the end of this semester, but we'll see when we get there.
Hey, but hey, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. And
Hmm.
do you plan on working in education while you still pursue your wrestling, or you plan on once you graduate pursuing wrestling
Possibly.
full time?
I think right now, because school has been so like demanding and exhausting, I think my goal is take a second and like don't use my degree yet, don't teach quite yet, and then come back to it when I feel like it's calling back to me. Because right now, my passion, what's calling to me is wrestling and traveling and doing shows and like, putting myself out there. Like that's what's making me super happy and fulfilled right now. So that's what I'm gonna do full time. I'm gonna be wrestling and I guess my plan is once I'm too old to be wrestling, I'll just go teach some kids and go wrestle the kids. No, I'm just
Right.
kidding.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I know you've been wrestling for about a year. Have you had your favorite match so far? Like, what's your favorite match that stands out so far this year?
I think, oh, well, this year how many have I had this year? I've had a couple this year. Um, I really enjoyed the match that I had at DCCW with Fallen and Zamaya. That was last year though. That was like December. that one was really cool. Like it was badass. It was fun. It was nice to work with like other women that, you know, in New Mexico, because like
Yeah.
this is my hometown, so it felt good to have like the supporters there. And like when they announced my name, Alorha Jet from Albuquerque, New Mexico, like everyone was so happy that I'm from there. So I really liked that match. Those are two wonderful workers. I also like a little further back, I don't remember the month, I really wish I did, but it was a phase 1 show also here, and I wrestled Ramon Romantico. And I think I loved that match so much just because it was like so silly. Like his gimmick and my gimmick, like they really just like it worked out so well. Like he's
Oh,
just
wow.
this like romantic guy, like try to give me a flower, try to get a kiss, and I'm just like, nah, like I don't want none of that. Like that's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I feel like our like characters really like that was a good blend. I think it worked out.
Okay.
So those two matches I think stand out for me right now.
And that's crazy because that was going to be my next question. I know you wrestle a lot of intergender, or as they call it, mixed matches. Who do you prefer wrestling more, the men or the girls or the women?
That's like it's just such a hard question. I think I don't know. There's something inside of me where I'm like, I just enjoy wrestling guys because like I'm kind of a bump monkey, especially like at training. They're like, here, let's try this move. And then they just throw me. Like, you know, it's great.
Yeah.
Like it's so fun. So I enjoy wrestling the guys. I also think it works for my character because like one of my things is like I make boys cry. So like being able to wrestle men is like super fitting, right? And I feel like I can do a lot of moves on them that I can't do for a lot of women, or, you know, like have a like nice meaty chopping contest. Like it's, you know, it's always so fun to wrestle dudes, and I also just train with them. So I'm just more comfortable, I think. But the wrestling with women, it's like there's just this like chemistry that we have
Yeah.
because we're like the girlies. And I just feel like it feels different. It feels more comfortable. Like we know what we're calling in a match, and we know exactly what we want to do and how to talk to each other. So there's just difference. I don't know if I would prefer one or the other. It's just they're just so different, and it's so fun either way. So I like intergender matches. I just did one at SPCW, and that one was really fun because I got to wrestle. I was on a tag team with Gino, and I got to wrestle Drea and Aaron Harms. So it was
Oh,
fun to
did you
do
really?
an intergender match.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Who came out on top? Uh,
it was them,
yeah.
Drea and Aaron. Yeah. Hey, we were heels, okay? Obviously, we're from New Mexico, and we were in Texas. They do not like us.
Yeah. No, you can't do it in Texas. That won't fly in Texas. All right, so sticking to that, who would be your dream match against a male wrestler? If you were to wrestle any male wrestler, who would be that dream match?
Any male wrestler?
Anytime, past, present,
Oh,
future, or not future.
anytime. Okay, I gotta say, oh man, I gotta say, like, probably Stone Cold
Uh,
because, like, he's my favorite wrestler of all time. And he's just his personality, he's just such a larger than life, you know? So I think that wrestling him would just be, I think it would be like a funny banger. Like it would just, you know, it would go crazy, it would go hard. Like I think we'd be able to put on like a real entertaining show for the audience. So probably Stone Cold.
until you get hit with that stunner and you do like a backflip out of it.
Until I'm out. Yeah, until I'm lights out.
It's all fun and games till he's pouring beer on you.
Yeah, literally, it's all fun and games until I'm 1 second I'm sipping a beer and the next it's
Yeah.
spraying out of my mouth.
All right. So in that same sense, who would be your dream match, your favorite female wrestler that you would have a dream match with?
Oh my God. Dang, probably okay. It's all stuck in the WWE, but probably Rhea. Rhea Ripley. She was like one of my biggest inspirations, actually. Especially when I like started watching it again. I was like, God, this woman is so sick. Like she's jacked and she's like tall and strong and like goth.
I
Like
know,
it's
I
so
know, I,
cool.
I know what
So
you're gonna say. Go ahead.
oh yeah. So you know, there's just something about her like character, and she's hard hitting and she's strong, and like there's just something that I like when I wrestle like when I wrestle the women that have that like same like strong style, I guess, where they're just like, let's just like beat the hell out of each other. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, it's
Yeah.
super fun. And I think that she would be a great person to do that with. So like in my dream life, yes, I would totally wrestle Rhea Ripley.
I can see that too. I can see that too. And to be honest, when I see like your gear and your hair and makeup, I can see a little bit of inspiration driven from that.
Mm.
Yeah. And then you're in the gym, like,
Yeah, for sure. I get people that tell me that too. They're like, "Oh my God, you're kind of like Rhea Ripley." I'm like, I'm never living that down. I'm never going to shut up about that. I will always tell people say I'm like Rhea Ripley.
hey, hey, I mean, it could be worse. People used to tell me I was like Eugene. Just like,
Eugene. Oh my God, it's fine. Embrace it.
this is how I
Embrace
walk
it.
into the locker room, carrying my bag. I'm like, "Eh," and people just, I get that a lot. I get that a lot. So,
Mhm.
so for what is the goal for 2026? What do you see on the table for 2026 for Alorha Jet?
I think so. My goals right now are smaller. I think my most prominent goal is just to travel, like just get everywhere that I can get. Get my name out there and get out of the Southwest. Obviously, I still want to wrestle here. I'm not saying like I never want to come back, but like wrestle everywhere else, like Georgia and freaking North Carolina and California and Washington. Like I want to go everywhere. So I think that that's my biggest goal right
Huh?
now is to find companies that'll have me out there, just show my face and get experience. Hopefully they have me back there. So um that's my biggest goal. I think like future goals in a couple of years is like get a WWE tryout. So like that's and Fallon was like, she had that tryout and I was like, damn, she's been wrestling, I don't know, like 3 years or so. And I'm like, okay, so I can do it. She can do it because she's incredible. And I'm like, I can do it too. So she inspired me also to start thinking about that.
Awesome. That was actually another question I was gonna ask you. You know, it's like a scenario. You open your phone, you open Instagram, you look at your DMs, you have a new message. It's someone saying they want you to come work for the company and try out. Who would it be? You know, one of the big companies, and you just answered it right there.
And I would pass away. I would die. But yeah, probably
I
WWE.
always tell people, I was like, always try to get to the WWE because you can always trickle down from there to like New Japan or
Mhm.
AEW or something like that, you know? Because
Yeah,
they have 88, I think 88 million followers across all social media platforms.
that's
So,
insane.
so,
Yeah, that's
so if you can
insane.
get into that bigger promotion, the WWE, no matter where you go after that, you know, you're golden. You know, people are gonna know you when you
Yeah, your
get there.
doors are open.
Yeah. I mean, granted, AEW has some clout, and some people who go from AEW to WWE, they're like, oh, that's that guy from
Mm.
AEW. But when you're in WWE and you go down to another company, they just go nuts, like, oh my God, she's here? What? You know, and you know, it always happens when a WWE wrestler goes to AEW. Like, I can't believe he's here. Tommaso Ciampa? You know, people go nuts, you know? Oh, and you froze.
So unfortunately, during this interview, we lost signal. We are experiencing another snowstorm here in Connecticut, but I was able to screen record the rest of the interview, but unfortunately my audio dropped out. But luckily we got Alorha's, and that's what counts, right? So during the interview, I'll be asking the questions just like this, but then I'll cut to where she answers the question. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. During this part, we were talking about social media, and I mentioned how the WWE has over 88 million followers across all their platforms. And I was like, but that seems to be an Achilles heel for most pro wrestlers in the industry. I asked her how she was dealing with social media so far, and has that been a problem for her?
I think the social media part is kind of tricky for me. Like, um to become like a social media person because I'm not really like I like to scroll, like that's what I do. Like I watch silly videos and like talk to my friends and stuff. Yeah. So it was kind of hard for me to like get comfortable like posting or trying to post every day. And I was like, God, I can't do like a big post like to my page every single day, but I'll post to like my story every day. Like I know you see it. I know some other people see it. And even if it's like a gym picture or like an old picture or something funny, like I just recently posted one of my face like like eating the mat, right? Like so just things like that like will keep your like page relevant. So like learning to post even if it's not like a big post or even if it doesn't have exactly to do with wrestling, like if it's a gym picture or something, like some opinion about wrestling, like post it, you know?
The next question I asked was, what's one piece of advice you would give someone who was starting as a pro wrestler or someone who was thinking about starting a career in pro wrestling? And this was her answer.
Don't be scared. I think it's easier said than done for sure. But I was super nervous and scared and worried, and everyone worries about failure, I think, and everyone worries about what is everyone going to think of me, or like what if I make a fool of myself in the industry or whatever. Like you will look silly and dumb sometimes, but that's just part of it. So I think taking that like leap of faith and like trusting yourself, that like as long as you put the work in, what's supposed to happen will come to you. Like what's yours will come to you. And I think as long as you put that work in, that's exactly true. And not worrying so much about what people think. Like people always were telling me like, "Oh, black gear, don't wear black gear." I want to wear black gear, so I'm wearing black gear and I think it looks cool, right? So just you don't worry about what people think about your gimmick or your gear. Ultimately, if it's what you want to do and you're serious about it and you're like, okay, this is it, do it, right? So I would say the same with wrestling. If you want to do it, if it feels right for you, send it, you know?
And lastly, I asked Alorha Jet to finish his sentence. It's something I usually do with all my other podcasts when I interview wrestlers. It's, you know you're a pro wrestler when...
Oh my god, that's so hard. You know you're a pro wrestler when somebody, oh my god. Oh, I got you. I got you. When a kid is inspired by you. Because I think, oh my God, that's like one of my biggest things. I think when I did my debut and it was in front of like families, like all these kids were coming up to me and they were like, "Can I get a picture with you?" Or like, "Could you sign my shoe?" Or like whatever. And I was like, God, this is like sick, you know, like this is so cool. Like these little kids are like looking up to me and I like never thought that that would happen. So, especially like on my debut. So, I think that's what I would say. You know, you're a pro wrestler when like little kids look up to you because that's pretty sweet.